Show. Len Suzio, who has taken on yet another fight on our behalf. This one being, pun intended, potentially an uphill one, depending upon how things play out next week. Talking tolls today, and I've got a lot of questions for you, Len.
Great. I'm happy to be on your show again, Vinnie. And as you know, I'm vice chair of the Transportation Committee. So I've read all the studies that have been done, and I'm pretty familiar with the issue.
All right. So, I mean, my memory is as such, Len. And the reason I'm coming at you with probably some really silly questions is I recall vividly when tolls went away. What was it, about 1985, 86, thereabouts, when we took them down. And the response to when Malloy suggested this, it felt akin to being laughed out of a room. So I just didn't think the possibility existed. It has stuck around. Lamont is embracing this idea, despite his shuck and jive. Okay, maybe only trucks. Or no, I'm open to all of that. So I'm not as well versed as I'd like to be. How is this going to work? For me, it hit me as a teenage to early 20s driver in the mid 80s. I had to cross West Haven into Orange. That's the only toll I encountered in my travels. Mm-hmm. How would it work now? I drive from Branford to Hamden every day because at this point in the game, Len, it's all about everybody. I hate to say, this state is doing such a job of putting me under. I can only think about me right now. Will I get hit coming from Branford to Hamden, Radio Towers Park? Will there be a toll that I'm paying were this to get put in place?
Yeah, so under the studies that have been done, there's been 3 studies that have been done since 2015. They total almost 1,500 pages, and all those studies suggest a toll of anywhere from 10 to 20 cents a mile. So if you're traveling 20 miles one way to work, 40 miles round trip, that's $4 a day, 5 days a week is $20 a week. It's over $1,000 a year. So tolls you'd be paying. And by the way, Vin, when they talk about toll locations, there would be gantries. It wouldn't be the old-fashioned tolls.
I know that. That I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they ping your car, but they're talking about anywhere from 78 locations, which would be on the interstate highways, to as many as 121 locations, which would include not only the interstate highways, but all the limited access roads in Connecticut. So it would be Route 8, Route 9, Route 2, et cetera, would all be tolled as well. And I haven't heard anybody talk about that in public. Everyone's talking about the 78 locations, but that's on the low side.
Yeah.
We could be talking 121 locations. So,
well, and that's important. That's why I want to talk about it. I mean, there's a lot of guys, this may shock you, Len, who I think the way I do, and it's all right. I remember the way, I'll just dodge them. Like I had friends who they knew how to dodge the toll, in the 80s. It was you get off, you get off Sawmill Road, and then you hop back on, further down Route 1, you hop back on the highway. You can dodge that toll effectively. They're taking that off the table. They're savvy now. They're going to get us. It's going to come in the mail? This would just be a bill that came in the mail, or how would we get it?
Well, what they would do is if you had a GPS device in your car, a transponder basically, they would ping you for that, like Easy Pass, for example.
Yeah.
And you'd be charged. You have to use your credit card. If you don't have something like that, then they would photograph your plate and then charge you for that. And by the way,
that's sneaky. That's some sneaky Big Brother Orwellian nonsense.
Oh, yeah. They not only know, how many miles you drove, they know exactly where you are. But think about it, Vinny. They're talking about if you don't have an Easy Pass, they're going to charge you with 50% premium. So you and I were just talking about, okay, you drive from Branford. It's incredible. You'd be talking increasing your toll costs by 50%. So you'd go from $1,000 a year to $1,500 a year. So
I can't do it. It'd kill me. It'd be the nail in the coffin of my life in Connecticut. It's insanity. What's in it for them as far as this Easy Pass thing is concerned? Like, that's interesting to me. It's okay. We'll take it right out of your credit card. No harm, no foul. You don't even notice, which is government at its worst. But it almost feels like a nudge towards the other way. If you're paying more, they can't go paperless. They've got to spend. They got to make up the dollars on the envelope when they're mailing out this bill. What's in it for them that we all do Easy Pass? Just less dollars spent, people employed in that role to bill you, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, the collection costs of collecting that way are much more expensive. Easy Passes, boom, they already got your credit card. It costs them pennies to do that. They're going to bill you, Vinny. They got to pay all the mail costs, the collection costs, and all the out-of-staters, by the way, many of them won't pay because if you're coming through Connecticut a couple times a year, big deal. And if you're coming through Connecticut often, then they'll get their version of Connecticut Easy Pass, and they'll get the same. They're talking about discounting things, etc. So, most people who support the tolls support it because they think we're going to get a big windfall from out-of-staters. And if we could put tolls only on the borders, that might be great. But we're required by the federal law that we can't do that. We have to do what's called congestion pricing, which is one of the things, Vinny, you should be aware of. If you're commuting to work during the rush hour, that's another thing. They say you got to pay a 40% premium for that. So the out-of-staters will be paying, let's say, $1 going through. You're going to be paying $1.40. And because you have no choice, you have to commute to work during the rush hour.
Again, we're on with Len Suzio right now. We're talking tolls. We're talking Ned Lamont's stance on this. You just said something interesting to me right there because I don't know anybody who's pro tolls, which is why I'm kind of dumbfounded. Here's a guy who's able to talk tolls. He's able to talk taxing. And he's saying words that should alienate any Connecticut resident. Instead, there are people there. I think it has more to do with Trump than life in Connecticut, and that's just depressing to me. But when you say that the thought process for those who are pro tolls is, there'd be a groundswell, there'd be money coming into Connecticut. How do they not know? Even that part I do know, that there's ongoing litigation in Rhode Island where this is not working. There's proof that this is not working.
That's right. Vinny, if I could, the reason why we, quote, have to have tolls, according to the advocates of tolls, they argue that we need them because we're getting decreasing toll cash collections from the gas tax because of decreasing, consumption of gas. But Vinny, anyone could look it up. This is on the Department of Revenue Services website. Is what they call research. Go there. You can see all the statistics about gas consumption in Connecticut going back years. And the truth is that gas consumption is actually going up. From 2013 to 2018, it went up 88 million gallons per year. So the very first fact that the proponents of tolls argue is not a fact. It's actually a lie.
Yeah. So that is important stuff right there to look at, too. I see a link to a lot of the statistics, a lot of the facts right here. I'll post it at 960WELI.com, newsradio14.com. Make it today's blog. Not even just for our election HQ page, but in both spots for you all to consume, absorb. I'd like to thank Len Suzio for taking the time to come on,